Hi everyone, happy Friday. Here I am in the library on Friday without you all, and it's very weird. So I do miss your faces actually, but you guys get to stay home, have another remote snow day, and I hope you guys got to play outside yesterday. I went outside with my dog a bunch of times. And he walked until he got ice in his feet, and then he got mad and had to come in. So, okay, now I know you guys like the book we started yesterday, which is Macbee Kid Spy. And for sure, we will read this when we finish Spiderwick. But since I'm back at school and have our novel right in my hand, we can keep reading Spiderwick, okay? Which is a very short book. So we'll have time to do both. I promise. All right. So let's see where we are. The kids are hearing noises in the walls. So where am I? Oh, they think that it's a squirrel nest, right? And they put their hands in the wall, in the hole in the wall, and we're feeling around for stuff, but realize there's no droppings or anything. Okay. Simon, Jared asked, have you ever heard of an animal like this? I mean, some of this stuff is really odd, you know? Like this squirrel must be as demented as Aunt Lucy. Yeah, it's real nutty, Simon said and giggled. Mallory groaned, then suddenly went quiet. I hear it again. What? The noise. Shh, it's over there. Mallory picked up the broom again. Quiet, Simon whispered. We're being quiet, Mallory hissed back. Shush, Jared said. The three of them crept over to where the sound came from, just as the noise itself changed. Instead of hearing the clatter of little claws scrabbling on wood, they could clearly hear the scrape of nails on metal. Look! Simon bent down to touch a small sliding door set into the wall. It's a dumbwaiter, Mallory said. Servants used it to send trays of breakfast and stuff upstairs. There must be another door like this in one of the bedrooms. That thing sounds like it's in the shaft, Jared said. Mallory leaned her whole body into the metal box. It's too small for me. One of you is going to have to go. Simon looked at her skeptically. I don't know. What if the ropes aren't that good anymore? It would just be a short fall, Mallory said, and both the boys looked at her in astonishment. Oh, fine, I'll go, Jared said. He was pleased to find something Mallory couldn't do. She looked a little bit put out. Simon just looked worried. The inside was dirty and it smelled like old wood. Jared folded his legs in and bent his head forward. He fit, but only barely. Is the squirrel thing even still in the dumbwaiter shaft? Simon's voice sounded tiny and distant. I don't know, Jared said softly, listening to the echoes of his words. I don't hear anything. Mallory pulled the rope. With a little jolt and some shaking, the dumbwaiter began to move Jared up inside the wall. Can you see anything? No, Jared called. Hey guys, when you come back, I will see if I can find an image of a dumbwaiter to show you what it actually is. I've seen them and they're very cool, very cool. He could hear the scratching sound, but it was distant. It's completely black. Mallory winched the dumbwaiter back down. There's got to be a light around here somewhere. She opened a few drawers until she found a stub of a white candle and a mason jar. Turning the knob on the stove, she lit the wick off one of the gas burners, dripped hot wax into the jar, and pressed the candle in to hold it in place. Here, Jared, hold this. Mallory, I don't even hear the thing anymore, said Simon. Maybe it's hiding, said Mallory, and yanked on the rope. Jared tried to tuck himself deeper into the dumbwaiter, but there was no room. He wanted to tell them that this was stupid and that he'd chickened out, but he said nothing. Instead, oh, here's a picture. Okay, so we'll see. Hopefully this will be good. He let himself be raised into the darkness, holding the makeshift lantern. The metal box went up a few feet inside the wall. The light from the candle was a small halo, reflecting things erratically. The squirrel thing could have been right next to him, almost touching him, and he would not have noticed it. "I don't see anything," he called down, but he wasn't sure if anyone had heard him. The ascent was slow. Ascent is when you are going up. Jared felt like he couldn't breathe. His knees were pressing against his chest and his feet were cramping from being bent so long. He wondered if the candle was sucking up all the available oxygen. Then, with a jerk, the dumbwaiter stopped. Something scraped against the metal box. "It won't go any farther," Mallory called up the chute. "Do you see anything?" Here we go. You can kind of see he's in this little box, and she is pulling a rope that's on a pulley, and it's almost like a little elevator that is sending him upstairs. Pretty cool. They're really only in old houses. "No," Jared said, "I think it's stuck." There was more scraping now, as though something was trying to claw through the top of the dumbwaiter. Jared yelped and tried to pound from the inside, hoping to frighten it off, just as suddenly as the dumbwaiter slid up an extra few feet and came to a halt again, this time in a room dimly lit by moonlight from a single small window. Jared scrambled out of the box. "I made it! I'm upstairs!" The room had a low ceiling, and the walls were covered in bookshelves. Looking around, he realized there was no door. All of a sudden, Jared wasn't sure where he was. And here's the room he ended up in. Okay, this room doesn't have a door, so there's only one way in, huh? Chapter 3, in which there are many riddles. Jared looked around the room. It was a smallish library with one huge desk in the center. On it was an open book and a pair of old-fashioned round glasses that caught the candlelight. Jared walked closer. The dim glow illuminated one title at a time as he scanned the shelves. They were all strange. A History of Scottish Dwarves, a compendium of brownie visitations from round the world, an anatomy of insects and other flying creatures, a collection of jars containing berries, dried plants, and one filled with dull river stones sat on the edge of the desk. All right, so there's the bell. Time to start school. Here's a painting that's hanging in the on the wall of this room, this mysterious room. Nearby, a watercolor sketch showed a little girl and a man playing on the lawn. Jared's eyes fell on a note tossed on top of an open book, both coated in a thin layer of dust. The paper was yellowed with age, but handwritten on it was a strange little poem. "In a man's torso you will find my secret to all mankind. If false and true can be the same, you will soon know of my fame. Up and up and up again. Good luck, dear friend." He picked it up and read it through carefully. It was as though a message had been left here just for him. But by whom? What did the poem mean? He heard a shout from downstairs. "Mallory, Simon, what are you doing up?" Jared groaned. Just figured that Mom would get back from the store now. "There was a squirrel in the wall," Jared could hear Mallory say. Here's Jared reading the poem. Their mother cut her off. "Where's Jared?" Neither of the siblings said anything. "You bring that dumbwaiter down if your brother is in there." Jared ran over in time to watch the box disappear into the wall. His candle choked on wax and sputtered from his sudden movement, but it didn't go out. "See," Simon said weakly. The dumbwaiter must have showed up, empty. "Well, where is he then?" "I don't know," Mallory said. "In bed, asleep?" Their mother sighed. "Well, go on, both of you, and join him, now." Jared listened to their retreating steps. They'd have to wait a while before they snuck back down to get him. That is, if they didn't figure the dumbwaiter had taken him all the way upstairs. They'd probably be surprised not to find him in bed. How could they know he was trapped in a room without a door? There was a rustling behind him. Jared spun around. It came from the desk. As he held up the makeshift lamp, Jared saw that something had been scrawled in the dust of the desk, something that wasn't there before. Click, clack, watch your back. Jared jumped, causing his candle to tilt. Running wax snuffed the flame. He stood in the darkness, so scared he could barely move. Something was here in the room, and it could write. He backed toward the empty chute, biting the inside of his lip to keep from screaming. He could hear the rustling of bags downstairs as his mother unpacked groceries. Here's Jared in the mysterious room. "What's there?" he whispered into the darkness. "What are you?" Only silence answered him. "I know you're there," Jared said. But there was no reply and no more rustling. Then he heard his mother on the stairs, a door and nothing. Nothing but silence so thick and heavy it choked him. He felt that even breathing too loudly would give him away. Any moment the thing would be upon him. There was a creak from inside the wall. Startled, Jared dropped the jar, then realized it was only the dumbwaiter. He felt his way through the darkness. "Get in!" his sister whispered from the shaft, up the shaft. Jared squeezed into the metal box. He was so filled with relief that he barely noticed the ride down to the kitchen. As soon as he got out, he started speaking. "There was a library, a secret library with weird books, and something was in there. It wrote in the dust." "Shh, Jared," Simon said. "Mom's going to hear us." Jared held up the piece of paper with the poem on it. "Look at this. It has some kind of directions on it." "Did you actually see anything?" Mallory asked. "I saw the message in the dust. It said, 'Watch your back,'" Jared replied hotly. Mallory shook her head. "Oh, that could have been written there years ago." "It wasn't," Jared insisted. "I saw the desk. There was nothing written there before." "Calm down," Mallory said. "Mallory, I saw it." Mallory grabbed his shirt in her fist. "Be quiet." Okay. We're going to stop there. All right. Ooh, this book is getting exciting, huh? We will continue on Monday when you guys come back. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and take care of yourselves and your families, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.